talking about that side gig and that hustle. Whoop, whoop. Yes, I don't know anybody else, but I am always down for a hustle. So I'm excited to share with you guys today some insights about side gigs and living for the hustle. So of course, you guys remember our ways to engage. If you aren't talking, please put your phone on mute. When you're ready to comment, please raise your hand. We'll unmute you. Then you need to unmute yourself to be heard. Please be patient with us. Feel free to type your comments in the group chat and make sure it's going to all panelists and attendees, okay? All right, thanks guys. Next slide, Andrew. Agreements, speak from your own experience, use I statements, treat other people the way you want to be treated, which is our fantastic golden rule. And then full presence, please no multitasking. I know you guys have been doing a lot of great things while you're listening and on with us today, but I'm hoping that you'll be fully immersed in today's conversation with me. Thanks guys, I see you guys already agreeing. I love this group. So this week is Financial Vitality Week. Whoop, whoop. It's about feeling secure in your capacity to meet your needs in the material world. Questions in this domain focus on building financial security by understanding and reducing stress in your life and relationships associated with money through planning. We're going to talk about financial security today. Yay! All right. Hey, Denise and Jody. Welcome, welcome. We can go to the next slide. So let's start our conversation off today with a question. And feel free to dream and dream big. What would you do if you had more money? What would you do if you had more money? Go ahead and drop your answers in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. Pay off all my bills and travel. Yes. Pay off all my bills and travel. Anyone else? I would be a professional traveler. I think I would be too. Travel for sure. Look, we're getting so many travel answers because we've been locked in the house for a whole year. Ooh, pay off my bills and retire or hire a personal chef. Yes. I'm going on the travel post. I would get a personal house cleaner. What is that? A housekeeper. I would get a housekeeper. I would also travel. Yes, I would get a housekeeper. I would travel. Create an environment where I could do more gardening, relax with my family. Yes, my husband is doing that right now. He is redoing our whole backyard. He wants to make it more entertainment friendly because we're social butterflies. Anyone else? Denise said, create. Tamara said, traveling sounds great. Buy a house and a new car. Set up my family what they want or need. Yes, I would definitely do that too. Denise said, create an environment where I can do more gardening and relax with my family. Yes. Any others? I think, and I want to go to Dubai. If I have more money right now, I would go to Dubai. Yes, Brenda said I would travel with my family. I think that's really because we've been in COVID, right? Like I used to travel before, and now after being stuck in the house, all I want to do is travel. Tammy said I dreamed of visiting Paris. Me too, Tammy. Let's go together. Yes, I want to go to Dubai and I want to go to Paris. Yes, I could go anywhere right now. You could pay me to go. I'm just happy to go to the next state right now. I'm ready to go to Indiana. I'm so sick of being in the house. Be strong, retreat in Paris. Let's do it, Tandra. I'm ready for that. Oh, take the kids from my work to Disney. Who said that? Fantastic, Laura. You know what else I would do? I would totally I would set up a trust for my Misha babies. And I would make sure, I would also set up a foundation for all of my nieces and nephews because I have a lot. So I would set up a foundation for all of my nieces and nephews so that every kid who goes to school in our family, if their education is not completely paid off, then they would get scholarships from the family, like a family foundation, because I have a ton of nieces and nephews. So I would totally do that. Brandon said, me and Kim want to visit Paris. Yes. I work at the SOS in Lockport. What is the SOS, Laura? In Lockport. Oh, is that no, not Saber. Whatever. I'm so burnt up. Don't get me to trying to check in. All right, so let's keep going. Thanks, guys. Oh, pay off student loan. Yes. Denise said one student loan paid off during COVID, one more student loan to go. Yes. That's it, Laura. The Village for Foster Children. Oh, yes. That's what you would take to Disney. Well, take me too. All right. So why am I talking about this? Let me share my experience with the side hustle. Okay. I'm a mom, and I have the I've been married to a wonderful man for almost 30 years, 29 years this year. I have 3 children, and for the first 15 years, I was a stay-home mom. Because I was a stay-home mom, I would often look for ways to try to enhance our family finances because my husband worked. It was a luxury for me to be a stay-home mom, especially because we started off young. We were 20 when we got married. And so I would always look for some kind of way to bring in some income, to supplement our income. And people would always say things like, like, oh, you should babysit. I don't like kids like that. No judgment. This is a no judgment zone, right? Okay, so they would say like, you should babysit. I'm not doing that. You should do nails. I don't like doing that. If you like doing these things, that's cool because this may be a side hustle for you. But for me, I didn't like any of those things. I didn't want to babysit. I didn't want to sell Tupperware. I'm not a seller. I hate selling. I didn't want to do like nails, and hair. I'm not that person. Like that is not my thing at all, at all. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to help people. And I feel like I was a really good encourager and really wanted to help people. So I started looking for and praying for jobs around helping people. But I had a heart for marriage and for parents. So all of my side gigs, everything that I've done with like as a side gig, as a hustle, involved parents. I used to volunteer at the kids' school, and there was no pay for that, and that was fine. But my very first job outside of the home when my kids got a little older was I worked for AmeriCorps. And AmeriCorps, I was like, oh, this is a good way to bring in some money. However, I did know it was like full time. I didn't know I'd be required to go full time. I thought it was going to be like a little hustle. But they got me back into the workforce. And it was only for a year. It was, but I worked in the school. I loved being around. I loved helping other parents get resources and encouraging them and things like that. And that led for me doing that, AmeriCorps, to my next job. I didn't go full time because I'm sort of allergic to full time prior to me coming to Be Strong Families. I mean, because the 30-minute lunch thing, I just couldn't figure that out. So, and it wasn't like I hadn't worked a full-time job. I used to run a restaurant before I decided to go into this field. And so yeah, I started working in AmeriCorps, and then I left from AmeriCorps, and then I worked for, you guys have after school. Remember they had after school tutoring programs like Kristen Review, and there were a few other ones. I can't remember the names, but they used to have these after school tutoring programs, and I worked for that. And then I worked there like part-time. After school was a couple of hours after school that I had to do. Loved it. That was nothing. And then I worked Prince and Review. And then I also worked, when you go and you tell people about different programs, different parenting programs, so you go to like conferences and things like that. And I was paid to go talk about these parenting programs that this agency had. That was a nice hustle. What I did with that hustle money was I simply I simply used it, right, for us to plan trips, for my husband and I to plan trips. And then I used that side hustle, right, going and tell people about these parenting programs. And then I got a job part-time, right? I worked, wait, I also did like after school for the community school. I was like a exercise teacher, and they paid me to do like Pilates classes. And I would go home and research Pilates. I joined a Pilates class myself, and then I came back, and for the community school, I taught Pilates classes because I was always looking for a hustle. And then I was working my part-time job because someone saw that I was good connecting with parents, and I got a job as a parent coordinator. However, on the side of that, I also found another hustle. And the other hustle was I started teaching parenting classes like life skills for Chicago Public Schools. Had a program, and they needed people with parent engagement experience to teach life application classes for parents. So I did that for like 8 years while I worked at Be Strong Families. But just before I started working at Be Strong, and this is how I got to Be Strong, I attended a parent cafe training in the community. And as I was there looking for programs to bring back to my school, um, at the parent cafe, they always recruit at the end of the parent cafe. And so they said, we're looking for people, and we pay parents $150 to $200 to do these cafes. I was like, what? What? I can do that. I can do that. And so I was like, all I have to do is talk and be cute and get paid $150 to $200 each cafe. So they never hired me for that. I mean, Be Strong they're a good company, but they have some issues. They never hired me for that. Anyway, it led to me being more connected to Be Strong Families in an offset kind of way. So I absolutely live for the side gig. I'm looking for a side gig right now. Let's go to the next one. Next slide. So 4 reasons you need a side hustle. Side hustling, for those of you guys who don't know, is a way of life for more than 44 million Americans. Having multiple sources of income is empowering. I love having multiple streams of income, right? Because it makes me feel like I'm doing something and that I'm creating a future, a better future for my family. It's empowering. You can use the extra money to pay off debt. I heard people talking about they paid off student loans this year during COVID, and just I've been cleaning up my debt too, which I love because it makes me feel so free. I don't know about you, but paying off debt makes me feel free. Like, I feel like the monkey is slowly easing off of my back, right? You can use the extra money to build wealth. I've also, this summer, because of my side hustles, I've been able to invest in some stocks, which is really exciting. Like, I'm having fun with it. And I joined a Heels and Stilettos group, Facebook group, right? To teach you how to build stocks. Love it. And it could turn into a job you love if that's what you want. Hence, here I am at Be Strong Families. Why? Because I love doing every hustle job that I had was parent related, parent informed. It was just, I didn't want to do anything else except work with parents. And now I've been here 8 years because I love what I do. And it was my passion. All right, next. So if you're thinking, I would love to do a side hustle, but I don't have time to do a side hustle. It doesn't take a lot of time to build a side gig. It's like getting in shape. You don't go to the gym for 8 hours a day, a couple of times and expect to see results. Instead, you commit 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week for a few months. Here are some suggested ideas for a side hustle, right? My girlfriend makes quilts. I have a friend that's making quilts. I have a friend that makes jewelry, candle making, beauty products. I've never seen this explosion of people creating beauty products, lotions and oils and scrubs. And then you can teach You can teach art, you can teach dance, you can teach music. You can be a consultant. My husband's a trucking consultant, so he goes around and works with trucking businesses and consults on their businesses. I love it. You can freelance, you can ride share, you can rent your vehicle out, you can rent out your home, you can blog, you can blog, right? You can do video stuff. You can TikTok. My daughter's a YouTuber. You can do anything you want to do in today's world. That's the great thing about this explosion of COVID. It's released a lot of great stuff for a lot of great people. So, what are some 10 commandments if you're going to do a side hustle? All right, next. So, consistently, if you're thinking about doing a side hustle and you want to be successful, consistently crush your full-time job. Yes, you can do your side hustle, but at your full-time job, you need to be an absolute, or you should be an absolute superstar, which means you can't spend all your time thinking about your side hustle while you're at your full-time job. The full-time job needs your complete focus when you're there, because otherwise, you're going to, if you start messing up that, you need that full-time job in order to build the side hustle. If you want to build a side hustle, I never thought about doing more. I didn't think about becoming an entrepreneur with my side hustle. I simply just wanted to bring in extra income. All right. So number 2, never take on a side hustle debt. Like if you're going to do a side hustle, don't just take on stuff like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to build a website, or I'm going to, get new office stuff, or all those things, because the reality is you need to be able to make the money first before you put yourself into more debt, right? You need to have some money coming in. Don't use side hustle as an excuse. So, as an excuse to do, like, I have a side hustle so I can go and do more things. I can go and I can buy whatever I need. I can go do all this stuff because I have a side hustle. Well, that's not true. I can have a side hustle, but again, if it isn't bringing in money, then what is the point of a side hustle if it isn't bringing in more money? And then I'm just going to use that excuse to do whatever I want to do. 4, don't spend money the customer won't see. Don't invest in a lot of stuff that the customer is not going to see. So I need to get my office redone, right? Or I need to get an office in my house and spend a lot of money to do a lot of stuff the customer is never going to see. Why do I need that? That is taking away from money I could be investing into the side hustle. So don't spend money the customer won't see. Like, I need to be flashier. I need to get a new car and that's also like the excuse thing. Don't do that. Spend money where money needs to be spent. Only spend money on actual efficiency. So if it's going to make you efficient, then do it. But if not, so that would be like investing in things that are not going to actually make you more efficient. So if I said, oh, I need to get, I've also often thought about investing in technology stuff that I think would help me. But if I don't have like 12,000 clients or 12,000 people following me on social media, and I don't have an email list, then I probably shouldn't invest in like, I'm trying to think of that. I shouldn't probably invest in like the contact list thing, right? They have this thing where they'll send out emails to your contact list, but it costs a nice amount of money. And if I don't have that many people, why am I doing that? It doesn't make sense. So only spend money on actual efficiency. Always follow a strict side hustle schedule. So the side hustle schedule has got to be like, so if you work from 9 to 5, then from 6 to 7 or 6 to 8, mine is I fix dinner. So from 7 to 9, I work every day on my side hustle, right? It becomes like a religious thing. Like, I got to work on this because if I stick to that, the way that I stick to my work, my full-time job, then I'm going to prosper the way that I want to prosper and bring the money I want to bring. Dream big, but focus small. Yeah, we have great dreams, and it's good to dream big, and you should. But the focus small is simply like, what do I need to do right now? I can't look at the big picture and forget all the small stuff. So, I probably need to make a list of things that I need to do and not just be like, oh, I want to, make enough money so I can set up a foundation, and then I go and set up the foundation and all that stuff, but I don't have any money to put in. I don't have any way. I don't have a way to get to the big picture. Does that make sense? So focus on the small stuff and only do what generates revenue. So a lot of times I'm thinking about things to do. Like one of my side gigs, I'm a public speaker, right? Keynote speaker. So then when I get invited to go places, I don't typically do free things, because if I spend a lot of time doing free things or doing other things that don't work toward what I'm trying to do. So if I'm trying to blow up and be, bam, Sarita Sashington, I don't know, keynote speaker, I don't know, speaker, grace enthusiast, I don't know. If I'm trying to do that stuff, then I need to focus on that stuff and not do a whole bunch of other little things like selling stuff and setting up a store or, setting up a garden where I can sell stuff, if that's not really what I want to do. So I need to focus on what is going to bring in revenue. Always default to action. When you start to, sort of second guess yourself, like, should I do this? I don't know if this is good for me. People have said blah, 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 or I'm tired. Fall back on those thoughts and go back to, let me get moving. Because the best way to do something, there's a quote I like that says, a body at rest stays at rest and a body in motion stays in motion. And so if I tell myself, you know what, I don't have time to sit here and think about all the things that could go wrong. Let me get to work. And then see your side hustle as me time. This is a huge one for me because my side hustle, I was like, when I first started, I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. And then I'll spend the weekend or Saturday saying, I just need some me time. I need to be pampered. Well, me time is also me putting in the work that I need to do for my side hustle so that I can do the other stuff that I want to do. So that's also me time. Like me time is me wanting to go to Dubai and me doing the work that I need to do in order to get to Dubai and Paris and taking the kids to Disney and working on my foundation. All right, let's go. So what creative ways have you found to make money during COVID? What creative ways have you found to make money? Lots of people have come up with a lot of different things. What ways have you found? Feel free to drop it in the chat because I need some ideas. And I also say this while we're waiting for that. Do what you're passionate about. If you follow your passion, people say it'll make room for you, and it really will. But if you're just doing a bunch of stuff to make money, you're going to be like all over the place. So instead of just doing the stuff that, that makes money, then focus on the thing that you really love. Like, I really love doing this, or I really love working with kids. Start a daycare, on the side, or, I don't know. If you want to learn language, I want to learn sign language, right? If I learn sign language, then I could get I love sign language. If I really learn sign language, then I can get a job or a hustle job as a interpreter, right? Here, I'm gonna move my fingers as an interpreter. So what creative ways have you found to make money during COVID-19? Or have you picked up any hobbies that could possibly turn into a hustle job? Anyone? I'll just give you a few minutes. I feel like I don't, yeah, a lot of people have been doing DoorDash. I did some proofreading papers, resumes. It still wasn't a lot of money, but it still was something. Yes. And it doesn't matter if it's a lot of money or not. I mean, I feel like for me, because I was just doing what I wanted to do and what I love to do, working with parents, all those parent involved type jobs that I did, hustles that I did, it didn't feel like work. And I wasn't looking to make a lot of money. And I was fortunate because my husband just let me just sort of keep that, and I used that toward our travel. So in our vacations with us and our kids. So I don't know. That worked for me. But every job doesn't, every side hustle doesn't have to turn into like an entrepreneur or something. But if you want to work for you, those 10 commandments might be key. And thanks Andrew for dropping the chat. So if you guys don't have any creative ways that you found to make money during COVID-19, I hope that you'll consider some of those. Yes. Oh my gosh, I forgot about baskets. Let me see. Tammy said, I've had many side gigs over the years, but my favorite was selling custom gift baskets. I forgot about custom baskets around the holidays. Yes, I tried that too. I wasn't really good at it, but I tried it. And Andrew said, if you want to raise your hand, he can unmute you if you want to talk. I tried the basket. It was a hot mess, but I love when I see other people do really, because I'm not the most creative person, right? And so maybe you feel like yours wasn't creative, but if you found another way, you could help somebody have an idea today about a possible side gig for them. And if you go on social media, like, so people have become big stars by using social media, just talking and sharing. And think about Tabitha Brown. She's like a vegan, but she talks about all these great, she just shares herself. She just shares. And then she just blew up as a social media star. You can be a YouTuber, you can be a TikToker. There's so many ways. Yeah, she is now on the Calm app. Yeah, DoorDash, me and my wife. Yes, I I have a friend who pays rooms for making some extra cash. They've been doing it for a while. Let me see what else did Andrew say. They've been doing it for a while. And it's such a great idea in this housing market. Yes. Denise said, my sister-in-law started to take orders to sell her homemade cookies. Yes. My daughter started cooking too, and she just sort of blew up. I love it. So I hope that today's conversation starts you thinking. Maybe it dropped a seed. Like, what kind of side hustle could I do? We dropped a lot of links, or a number of links, and then we can go to the next slide, Andrew. Here's some resources for some ideas. 50 profitable side hustle ideas, 40 best 2021 side hustle ideas, 7 side hustle ideas you can do while working full time. And I happen to love Inc.com because they always have a lot of things. Tammy said, I loved it. I love shopping for the unique items and putting together gifts my customer friends and family were proud to give. Oh, I've done data entry for a photography studio, provided daycare, so Tupperware, tall craft classes. Yes, there's a lot to do. And now with social media, a lot more creative things to do. So I'm not creative like that, Tammy, but definitely all the social media stuff, I am here for it, all of it. Thanks, Andrew. Next. Thanks, guys. So join us in our social media vitality journey. Follow us today. You know where to follow us on all of our social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can go to the next one. And springtime journey to vitality starts next week. Financial vitality will end tomorrow. And then social, we'll do Monday, social vitality during and post pandemic with Kathy. Friends and family with myself, I'll be back. Social vitality and spiritual friendships on Wednesday, and Thursday, reconnecting and rekindling. And then Friday, join us for our social vitality cafe, which is being done by the Be Strong Families National Parent Cafe team, which consists of made up of parents. Don't forget to replenish yourself through the domains of vitality with our Vitality Cafe in a Box, our Recovering Together box, and the Journeys of Vitality posters. Thanks for joining us today, guys, and thank you for being a part of today's conversation. We really appreciate you, and we'll see you tomorrow.